Get 'em, boy!
Last weekend or the weekend before, depending on when I upload this, I downloaded Mortal Kombat 1 so that I could try it out, and I was surprised. You're watching my gameplay in the background. Despite everything that I hate about the way the NRS storylines are going, and how the characters are being thrown in the trash, I played the game, specifically the arcade tower, and I enjoyed it. I feel like I'm blaspheming right now, but the game itself, strictly the gameplay itself, was actually enjoyable. It was actually fun.
Stop hitting me! I'm trying to enjoy myself! Stop! I can't even do anything! Now I got you! You like that? Wait, now what? No! Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
The fighting in the game is much better than MKX and MK11, in my opinion at least. The combos were good and fun to do because they actually connect when you try them out. The characters move smoothly. The game visuals stand out beautifully. The visuals and the colors make you want to keep staring at the game as you play. It's different from watching gameplay on YouTube. When you actually play yourself, you get drawn into the art of the backgrounds and the characters. Not all of the characters, alright? Don't look at me like that. The backgrounds in the arenas looked great. They didn't look like Mortal Kombat, the Living Forest for example, but they were artistically nice to look at. You must be thinking, this guy's gone completely crazy. He must have banged his head somewhere. You're free to hear me out, and you're free to leave. Let me make it clear that I despise what NetherRealm Studios has done to the MK story and the characters by infecting the lore with DC Comics crap. You should know this well if you watch my videos. I don't have to go into detail explaining it. And I'll always have a burning rageful hatred of them until they fire the scum who are writing crappy stories, messing up the characters, messing up the lore, and making the overall atmosphere of the game feel like it's been written by some LGHD TV propagandists. Putting all of that garbage aside, this game is actually fun to play, and it's easy to learn. The tutorial mode actually teaches you how to understand frame data and how to use it against your opponents. I wouldn't have known that you can crouch and attack with a 1, or just back 1 for some characters, and it gives you an advantage to get in there with your combos before they can block it. Just a simple thing. For strictly the gameplay side only, I feel that this game has taken whatever MKX and MK11 was, and has improved on it in some ways and has lacked in other ways. I'll expand on them shortly. They got rid of that stupid variation system rubbish, so you don't feel like you're splitting your character into parts anymore, or having to choose a piece of your character and leaving the rest of him behind. If you want to choose Sub-Zero, you get to choose Sub-Zero and have everything that makes him Sub-Zero. Also, once again, strictly gameplay only. I'm not talking about the story or how the characters' lore have been ruined here. Most of the characters feel like that they embrace their own powers and use them more in line with their moves. For example, when Sub-Zero uppercuts or he throws a punch, there's an animation of his ice power infecting or jabbing the opponent's body from Sub-Zero's hands. This is a real beautiful graphical display. I really like the way that the characters get frozen and how the ice looks. Baraka too. He's more savage than ever. He uses his blades at every chance he gets, and he slices and slices and he tries shredding the opponent throughout the whole match. This is the most true Baraka you can ever find, and the effects that come off his blades look cool. While the gameplay is definitely fun and immersive, there are aesthetic problems which stick out like a sore thumb to me. In a Baraka fight, for example, there should be a literal bloodbath all over the screen. Throughout the whole match, he's just shredding and slicing the hell out of his opponent. The opponent should be extremely damaged. Both characters should be so soaked with blood that if someone walked into the room when I'm about to finish a match, they shouldn't be able to tell which characters are which on the screen without looking at their name. Instead though, the funny thing is that the only time I can't tell what character I'm looking at on the screen is when players use these stupid looking punk costumes from the Huntress Chaos season, where the characters have an ugly red and green theme. These costumes are really bad. For a game that shows cutting-edge gore in its fatalities, why is the concept of battle damage not considered during battle? It is there somewhat. I have seen character face damage, but it's not in proportion to the insane brutality that we're watching during a match. A Mortal Kombat fight should start off with nice clean characters wearing their best clothes, and at the end of the fight, both characters should be shredded, drenched in blood, their clothes torn, their faces mashed up, even bones broken and their skins peeling off. I've noticed in the game that there is a little bit of blood soak on the clothes, and there is a bit of facial damage, but it's way not in proportion to the crazy things that they do to each other in the match. This game makes gore and injuries feel like a silly gimmick or a joke. It doesn't make sense with the fatal blows which look like fatalities. They just stand right back up after the animation, as if nothing happened. You have Frost who drop kicks icy feet spears through your ribs, shattering the hell out of them. No doubt she does tremendous damage to your internal organs. And then after that, Sub-Zero comes sliding in, stabbing Swiss cheese holes up your whole body. And the last spike goes through your mouth, through the back of your mouth, and stabs through your spine, before he smacks the shish kebab out of you with his big icy mallet. Did you just hear everything I said? After all of that, the character gets back up like nothing happened. Back to business. Just stand up and back to fighting. This is silly in my opinion, and I think most of you will agree. I want to give suggestions which will make the game way better. This idea will make Mortal Kombat stand out just for these features alone. First of all, there needs to be a lot more blood in the fighting gameplay. When Baraka slices, a stream of red liquid should follow off his blade and spatter all over him and his victim. Overdo it. Don't worry about being excessive here because it's actually logical. It's like taking your nice new clean work gloves or work boots and you're using them for construction work, getting them covered in cement, dirt, and all kinds of debris. Just spatter the blood everywhere, even a little on the player's screen, obscuring it a little so that it really feels violent and brutal. At the moment, you see a stream of blood come out, but it disappears back into the character or somewhere else, like it's a temporary effect. I shouldn't see any disagreement here because the fatalities at the end in this game are actually way excessive anyway. Sometimes I'm watching a fatality and I think to myself, okay, stop man, he's dead. Calm down. Match the injury graphics with the violence that we're seeing. Show consistency in this and it's gonna be cool. Along with the blood spattering everywhere, let's get some damage on these characters. Real damage. In a 2-round match, split the player's health into 3 sections. Invisible sections, they don't have to be visible to the player. And when one section of health is gone, give them some light bruises and scrapes on their faces and arms, like they already have here in this game. This game shows damage, but it needs to take it further. When the second section of their health goes, show some more damage aesthetic to their design. More bruises, more cuts, clothes ripped. And when the last section of health for the first round goes, obviously show more damage. When it gets to round 2, turn it up. Start showing skin peeling, Give them some hard scrapes on their arms and legs so that we can see their muscles, or maybe bones by the end of the round, so that it actually makes sense. This is how brutal Mortal Kombat should be. By the end of the round, the characters should be so mangled that you don't even need to do a fatality. The condition of the character would make you think that they're dead. So, that's the aesthetics. I want to talk about this silly feature called fatal blows. I've already explained how ridiculous they are. This is how you make them really great. The fatal blow should be something hard to attain and hard to land. And if you attempt it and miss it, you should be punished by not being able to use it because of the mechanic I'm about to suggest. The mechanic idea. Similar to what we saw in Deadly Alliance, where you could take out your weapons and stab your opponent, and leave the weapons inside them. It causes them to bleed out during the match, while their health is draining away. They're moving around in the fight with a gigantic sword stuck inside them, and they're visibly bleeding much more. It would be great to expand on this idea here. When you land your fatal blow, the character, the victim who suffered the fatal blow, should be limping or something, or clutching his ribs while fighting. And maybe their health starts dropping down, or maybe their moves are a bit less effective. This would just add a layer of art and immersion to the game, which I think would feel cool. Would it increase the fun? I don't know. Would it increase the tension of the fight? Yeah, it would. But maybe it would be unfair to one side. Well, both sides have the opportunity to cripple their opponents somehow, so that they're not as effective anymore. This sort of fatal blow shouldn't be easy to access though. It would be interesting if a fatal blow had to be set up somehow, as if you have to force your opponent into certain conditions before accessing it. If I come up with some idea off the top of my head, maybe they throw a move at you and you parry it and counter it, and because you parried it, you get to throw out a combo, and the combo sounds like it hits harder because of the parry. And at the end of the combo, after satisfying some kind of condition, you can hit some buttons to activate the fatal blow. I don't know, it needs some more thought put into it. Thinking about what I said sounds like it might be overkill. Like I said, it needs thought and development, and it could be turned into a good working idea. About the fatal blows themselves. The animations are good, but they're a bit too long, I think. It's kind of a headache when someone does a fatal blow, because now the gameplay stops and I have to sit there and watch an animation that I've already seen 20 times. It's cool, and I guess it gives you a little break from the fight, while you're just wondering, okay, what am I gonna do once this thing ends? But it gets a bit boring. I'm just sitting there waiting to get back to the fight. Also, it feels like a cheap shot to land one. Maybe to shorten it, just keep the fatal blow to the main character and keep the cameo out of it. Or separate the fatal blow so that you can choose to have the main character do it, or the cameo. Cameos like Cyrax who drive a buzzsaw right through the character's ribs. It's enough to see that. We don't need an over-convoluted display of breaking people's bodies, unless the character is dead at the end of it. Here's an idea. How about make the fatal blow accessible when the opponent is down to his last hit? When someone's down to their last hit, it's unlikely that they're going to come back from it. So you could land a literal fatal blow, where a fatal blow actually means the final deadly strike to finish them off. I half don't want to take someone's fighting chance away from them on their last bit of health, but they have the same opportunity to bring your health down as well. It needs to be thought about and tested. Look at me. I'm talking as if some developer's listening to me and is actually writing down my suggestions. Well, it doesn't hurt to throw them out there. I'm actually bothering to do a constructive criticism here, instead of stabbing a statue of Liu Kang and shouting profanities. In MK11 there were crushing blows. I thought they were good. A quick animation of bones breaking during a combo, and then back into the fight. I say these fatal blows should be completely wiped out and replaced with a nice quick crushing blow. I always think about Mortal Kombat 4, where you could grab the opponent and break their bones in a nice quick animation. Maybe that sort of thing should come back. I've mentioned some positives and aesthetics of the game. The stages look nice. The way the light shines in some of them looks great. And I like that the left side of a stage has something going on in it, and then the other side of the stage has something else happening. Kind of brings the stage to life. My favorite stages are the Corrupted Forest and Shang Tsung's laboratory, the one where that massive skinned deformation is hanging in the background. In the Corrupted Forest, when you move to the left side of the screen, there's a green fire burning everywhere, probably from something Quan Chi did. And on the right side, there's a nice artwork of dead giant rats that are rotting away. It sounds disgusting, but the art is really good. The living forest looks stupid, probably because it's not the living forest to an old MK fan. I suppose the Corrupted Forest is a good replacement of it though. The blood looks great in brutalities. At times it looks like jelly spattered on the floor, but when you see the blood draining from a freshly killed character in a brutality, it's quite satisfying to watch. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a moment where the blood stops draining out, showing a limited quantity of blood in the body. A nice touch, I think, if I'm correct. Other effects like Raiden's blue electricity is really nice to look at when he's juggling you around on screen with it. The Finish Him screen looks good when it goes black and white and leaves the characters and their blood in color. It shifts the complete focus to the characters only. I find it visually appealing to look at. Maybe it's my gaming screen that looks nice. Some quick comments about sound design. The sounds in Mortal Kombat 1, they're not that bad. I often hear people complaining about the tapping sound and comparing it to Tekken, which has gunshot sounds when the characters strike each other. However, when you're playing it, you don't really think about it. The sounds are mostly fine. Have you ever smacked someone in real life, or been smacked? One day when you get into a real life fight and you land a good strike, you'll find that it sounds similar to what you hear in MK1. So on that basis, I'll say that the sounds are realistic. Would it be better to have more hard-hitting subwoofer-like sounds in MK Deception when you're smacking your opponent? I think it should be in there somewhere because some of the sounds are actually very lacking in MK1. Sub-Zero's move, for example, Back Forward 2, where he throws a punch with his ice clone. When it hits, it sounds like they forgot to put the sound effect in for it, because the ice clone punch sounds very underwhelming. It should sound like a block of ice smashing into something, to make you feel like that it must have really hurt. But whatever sound it has now, if it even has one, it sounds very weak. Not true to what you're seeing in the animation. It's like a deflated punch. If any of you have played Sub-Zero in MK Shaolin Monks, you know how hard he hits. The sounds of his hits, it sounds like he's shattering your brains with an ice block crash to your head. Listen to how hard it sounds when he smashes enemies with his icy hand attacks. It sounds very, very hard, very impactful. Let me try overlaying this deathly sound on MK1 Sub-Zero's Ice Clone Punch. You see? I don't remember anything else, but I'm sure that there's more problems like this. Some of the sounds just need improving here. Some other sound effect issues. When Raiden does his electric fly, I'm sorry to say, but why does he scream like he just sucked his ballsack up inside his body? Does the move undo his puberty for a few seconds? Sub-Zero sounds cool when he talks. Shao Kahn sounds fine when he talks. Why does the champion of Mortal Kombat have to sound so pathetic? And Yellow Sub-Zero too. I refuse to call him Scorpion. He is Sub-Zero dressed up as Scorpion. My brain won't accept otherwise. He doesn't fight like the Ninja Spectre Scorpion who burns deeply with rage in every punch or kick he throws. This guy's swinging his little rope spear around. Why did they make this guy as Scorpion? He's not Scorpion. He's Sub-Zero's little brother, the second Sub-Zero. I won't say too much about it because I want to save it for the MK Story as Trash series. But I will comment one thing about his sound. He's Sub-Zero, or Tundra, dressed up as Scorpion. When he throws his spear and shouts, "Get over here!" in that Scorpion voice. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. He's not a Ninja Hell Spectre. The "get over here" voice, it doesn't fit him. And he's dressed up as Scorpion. It's like someone's cosplaying as Scorpion. The "get over here" voice, it should stay exclusive to the real Scorpion. They should have never made Kuai Liang as Scorpion. It's just not right. I'll throw a compliment in here. I like the sounds of when Shao Kahn swings his axe. It sounds like a razor-sharp heavy metal being swung around by someone strong. The music in this game, however, is terrible. I thought that because none of it is memorable. I think what the problem here is that some of the music is trash, and where it actually sounds decent like Cage's Mansion music, it's not loud enough. You don't really hear the synthwave noises or whatever as you fight. I think I'll reserve judgment on this for now. I'll turn all the sounds down a bit and put the music on 100. Maybe this will make a difference. I will revisit this topic in another video in the future. Invasion mode, I'm not going to review it. I'm not even going to try it. It sounds really boring. Maybe one day if I'm bored, I'll go and see it. I might be wrong and actually find it fun. Yeah, right. I'm already talking about the story in my MK1 Story is Trash series, so no point talking about it here. It's garbage. Just because of this terrible story and lore ruined by the bad story writers, I completely dismissed, hand-waved, and threw the gameplay behind my back. This game shows to me that the people who work on the gameplay, they've actually tried making something good and fun. And that the people who write the story and direct the characters, they're a load of agendist scum who need to be thrown out of NetherRealm Studios. It's like two separate teams who have nothing to do with each other. I had the opportunity of experiencing the gameplay and not get involved with the story at all. This game is like a part of it is good and a part of it is tremendously ugly. And the cameo things, I had an original complaint that the cameos should be fully fleshed out characters, that there shouldn't be cameos in the game. I still kind of feel that way, but it didn't feel so bad when I used it. As you can see, I used Frost with Sub-Zero, a matching pair, and I thought it was okay. The cameo thing isn't as bad as most people say, except for the reason that it may have split characters like Kung Lao, where cameo Kung Lao has the moves that the main Kung Lao should have, as in the moves are split up between the two. If they fix this problem, then I don't think that the cameos are that bad. I liked having Frost as a backup team. Frost here looked and felt true to the Frost from MK Deadly Alliance. And because I like Sub-Zero here, I felt like I was fighting with a Mortal Kombat team on my side. As far as Frost and Sub-Zero are concerned, I felt like I am playing Mortal Kombat, and it made me feel happy. My family were playing it with me and they all enjoyed it. I'm sitting there with mixed thoughts thinking that this is all gonna be over in 2 days, while I'm destroying them with 21 hit combos. And I mentioned that I'm going to buy Tekken. They told me, no, don't get Tekken. Get this, it's fun. You like Mortal Kombat. what do you want Tekken for? And I respond timidly saying, but this game is gay. And they respond with, oh, don't get Tekken, just get this. Look how much fun we're having. I got stuck. I'm back to square one. What do I do? My sister wants me to get it. My cousins want me to get it. And somewhere deep inside, I kind of want to get it too. One of the main reasons that I gave this game a chance during the free weekend was because of a channel I found called Sikandar555 Extra. I wasn't going to buy MK1, but I watched this one stream of Sikandar555 Extra, and he said something at the end of his stream which impacted me a little bit, because it felt like he was talking to me directly when he said this, and I heard it live. I'll just play the clip. You can have a listen to it from Sikandar yourself.
We can't let MK1 die, guys. Don't listen to them idiots on Twitter, okay? And don't listen to them videos either. If you want to play the game and you like it, play it. Don't play it because other people are shitting on it. Sorry, don't not play it because other people are shitting on it. Get on the game and play it. You'll be fine, alright?
If you want to play the game because you like it, then play it. Don't not play it because of the people hating on it. This moment felt like a sign confirming my inner conflict. So I made my decision. I'm gonna buy the game because I enjoyed playing the gameplay. I was gonna use Tekken to fill the void, but I'm not going to do that anymore. My position is that I like Mortal Kombat. It's in my blood, and I want it to be good. It hurts me to see how the story is getting ruined, and how the characters are being designed by idiots. I want those wretches who are ruining the game out of NetherRealm Studios. And I want sensible people to take over the story writing and the character direction. How the hell this is gonna happen, I don't know. You are your own man or woman. You'll have to make the decision yourself about what you want to do with this. I don't want Mortal Kombat to die. I want the idiots that are infesting NetherRealm to get fired. I want this sweet baby ink and their likes to be gone. It's crazy how Sikandar, someone who I never even knew until a few days ago, he said a few sensible words and it had the power to make me think. Someone like me who hates the story direction of this game viciously. I somehow have a spark of hope that people are routing out this sweet baby ink style crap, and that Mortal Kombat story can be told with passion alive once again. Maybe one day. Just because these weirdos are taking our Mortal Kombat and filling it with their crappy ideas doesn't mean that I should give up on it. I should struggle against these ideological molesters and try whatever effort I can to have real passion brought back to the story of Mortal Kombat. Will I have any impact? Probably nothing at all. The passion is there in the gameplay. Someone tried to make it fun, and I say that they succeeded in making a fun game. If it had an ideal story appropriate for Mortal Kombat at the very least, and maybe a few of the ideas that I mentioned, I probably would be praising this game as the best Mortal Kombat ever made. Sadly, because of the story directors, whatever score I give this game out of 10, it has to reduce by 5 because of them low-minded brain rots at NetherRealm Studios. And by the way, I find Ed Boon really embarrassing with the kinds of things he says. He posted a picture of John Cena humiliating himself, and he entertained the thought of making it a skin in Mortal Kombat. Ed, after all the mental struggle and getting through the people who talk bad about the game every single day, I decided to buy it. Don't ruin it with this stupidity. If I buy the game and everyone's using this stupid skin online all the time, I'm going to be tremendously disappointed, more than I already am. Don't put naked people in this game. Don't put naked women, and don't put naked men either. If I see someone using this skin online, I'm just gonna cut the match, I don't care. I'm separating the gameplay and the story. I'm going to continue the MK Story is Trash series, but when I find something that I like, I'll be fair about it.